Hello everyone and welcome back to the Atlas Current News channel. For an A-10 pilot, combat effectiveness begins long before the first strafing run. It starts in training, where the U.S. Air Force builds a pilot capable of flying low, identifying targets quickly, and delivering precise firepower under extreme pressure. At Davis Mountain Air Force Base, the 355th Training Squadron introduced a virtual reality, a 10 simulator lab to give pilots a more accessible and cost-effective way to train and earn qualifications. That matters because the A-10 is not simply another attack jet. It is an aircraft built for close air support where seconds matter. Friendly forces may be nearby and mistakes can be fatal. In that environment, repetition is everything, and simulation gives student pilots a way to absorb procedures before entering the cockpit for real. All right, put this right here on the other. From there, training shifts from digital immersion to real aircraft preparation. Pilots move through briefing rooms, flight gear checks, cockpit familiarization, startup procedures, and runway operations, gradually learning how to manage the jet as a complete combat system. The A-10 may look rugged and straightforward from the outside, but operating it effectively requires discipline and exact procedural control. Before a sortie, pilots and crews work through checklists, inspect the aircraft, and prepare it for flight. Only then does the next stage begin getting airborne and learning how the aircraft actually feels in motion, power, and response. That transition from classroom and simulator work to live flight is where the pilot begins turning knowledge into instinct. Once airborne, students build confidence through basic flight maneuvers. These are the foundations that make every later combat task possible. Turns, climbs, descents, formation work, low-level handling, and control of the aircraft across different speeds and attitudes. The A-10 was designed to fly where many fast jets do not want to stay low, relatively slow, and close to the battlefield. That gives the pilot more time to identify targets and respond to changing conditions, but it also places the aircraft in a more dangerous environment. Basic maneuver training is therefore not just about learning to fly smoothly. It is about learning to keep the aircraft stable and predictable in the same flight envelope where combat missions are often fought. From that point, training becomes more tactical. Pilots begin learning to use the A-10's guns in the role it is most famous for. Close air support. Range day training introduces the reality of target engagement from low altitude, where pilots must align the aircraft, manage their attack run, and hit accurately before exiting the area. This is where the A-10 begins to show its true character. It is a machine built to support ground forces under fire, and that means the pilot. Fine flying skill, target recognition, weapons employment, and timing in a single pass. The same applies when the aircraft practices striking targets from the air with other weapons. Whether attacking ground positions or conducting broader weapons employment, the A-10 pilot is being shaped into a specialist whose primary job is controlled. Repeatable violence delivered exactly where it is needed. That training expands beyond the gun. Missile firing and broader weapons integration teach pilots how to engage different kinds of threats and how to coordinate multiple weapon systems from the same aircraft. The A-10 is often defined by its cannon, but its effectiveness also comes from the range of ordnance it can carry and the way that loadout can be matched to the mission. The pilot must understand not only when to shoot, but what to shoot with, from what angle, and under what tactical conditions. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.